Right, we're fucking on because we're just laughing here.
Let's go.
Right, I'm joined by Dave, the bearded property guy. For anyone who doesn't know, who's Dave?
So yeah, name's self-explanatory, really.
Yeah.
I needed a name to sort of put on socials. I've got a beard. I do property. It's simple as that, really. So yeah, that bearded property guy. But at heart, I'm probably I'm a dad of 3. 2 with us, 1 isn't with us.
Oh, sorry.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I'm also a husband. And I like to think myself a good person, really, first and foremost.
Yeah, I second that.
Cheers. But on the sort of property front, I invest in blocks of apartments, blocks of flats, HMOs, and do flips, deals like that.
What's your favourite? And have you got a go-to? Or
I would definitely say it's blocks of apartments.
That's where that's your
that's sort of the bread and butter, so to speak.
Yeah. If you're like, obviously if a deal comes up, if it's good, it's good. But is that what if you're searching, you're mainly looking for that?
Yeah, 100%.
That's your go-to. Like.
Yeah. So how I've done it for the past probably 2 years now is I'll focus on the blocks. That's my main focus, but. Like you say, if something else does come to me, then I'm not sort of against it. But the main focus and the thing that gets me most excited is blocks of apartments because I love them. I feel like there's so much value to them. You in essence getting 5, 10, 15 single lets, but in one building, which makes it manageable. Whereas say, like my block of 15 I've got, if I had 15 single lets scattered all around the neighbourhood, it would be a nightmare to manage. But because they're in one place, it makes it so much easier to manage.
Are these the one in Sunderland that you spoke to about when we were at the property meet?
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Because I remember when you spoke, and me and my mate Tom would go, Dave's fucking brilliant. The deal he was talking about is fucking great. And then, but like, what did you? I can't remember the story fully, right? Yeah. If you talk us through it, but. Didn't you, if I remember correctly, you give the people that lived in there the opportunity to buy their own flats, didn't you?
Correct. Yeah.
That is unbelievable. Because everyone, landlords are wankers of this, that, and that, and then like you're just really you're the opposite. You're a top player. And like, saying to Robin Sally the other day, everyone I know, I've met, they're really nice people, brilliant, 100%. And they'll go above and beyond. But let me fucking sidetracking again. Tell me about the flats. Tell me about the deal. Tell me about what you've done for it. And
of course. So that was. I think it's basically what I'll do is if I start with how it started. My first block was a block of 4 that I sourced off Rightmove. Yeah.
Can I just before I get into this? Have you done any property before these flats?
Yeah, I had. Yeah. So
you've done a bit. Like,
So alongside my career, where I was a finance manager, I 2013, I think, I did what I now know to be a HMO in Derby. At the time, I had no idea. I just did a student house because that's where I went to university. We did that, rented it out, and then ended up selling it because it was a nightmare. I wish we hadn't now. Obviously, I wish we'd kept it. But so we did that, and then 2015, 16, I think I bought another couple of just buy-to-lets, renovated them, rented them out. So they just sort of sat in the background behind my day-to-day career. And then, it was like, we'll talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it. But 2023, me and my wife, we lost our son, Kobe. He was born at 21 weeks. So he was just, he's too young for this world. And that kind of flipped my whole life upside down. And it kind of brought into focus what was actually important. And to me at that time, I was under a lot of pressure at work and I was working long hours, bringing work home with me. And I realised that I didn't want to do it anymore. The idea of going into an office and working like 9 to 5 every single day for someone else, I was like, I don't want to do this. And basically, I made a decision that I want to do property. That's what I've always loved. But I've never, because of, I guess, similar to you, our upbringings, the age we are, I think it's different now. But I'm 35 in a couple of weeks.
Same age.
And I feel like when I was brought up, it was like this idea of quitting your job to go and decide to do property was like my dad would have had an absolute dicky fit at me. Like it was, you need to go to school and you need to get good grades, you need to go to uni, you get a job, you save for your pension, and this sort of whole warped idea if that's the way you do life, and anything different from that is you're risking it or you're not being successful. And I just got to a point where I think I'd gone back to work like 2 weeks after Kobe had passed away, and I was so low, I was so down, and I thought I can be better than this. There's more to it. So I obviously just evaluated everything of what I had, worked out figures, and then I quickly realised, hang on, it's not going to take that much here to replace my actual income. I was in a lucky position, don't get me wrong, because of when I bought the original houses in like 2015, 16, just after COVID, just house prices just went absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of equity sat in all 3 buy-to-lets that we had. So basically just sold them, put them on the market. And then I bought a renovation project around the corner from my house. It was the first thing that I bought when I was full-time. We completed on that in January 24. Yeah, January 24. Renovated that fully. Sold that July, I think, June time. That's how I went through. And then I was, the funny story is I was actually up in Sunderland visiting my wife's family. That's where they live. Yeah. Browsing on Rightmove, as you do. Yeah. And then I saw this thing that was listed as a 7-bedroomed house. And I was like, looked a bit interested in it. Like, what's this? And then quickly realised that it wasn't a 7-bedroom house. It was a block of 4 apartments. And because I knew the area quite well, I was like, hang on, they're worth well more than what they want. So I went to view it, turned up at the viewing, because thankfully I was up in Sunderland anyway. Yeah. Turned up at the viewing and no estate agent, nothing. Rang them and they said, oh, so sorry, we forgot. And I was like, well, I'm going home tomorrow. I'm not driving another 4 hours back up here just to view one thing. Kicked off at them, and then I had a phone call from the managing director of the estate agency. Said like, so sorry, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, did the viewing, and was like buzzing. Right, let's do it. So spoke to my broker and sort of worked out the plan of attack, how it was going to be. So yeah, we bought that for. We agreed 335, but then it was when. Then they stood up and changed the stamp duty rules, so they increased my stamp duty.
Wankers.
Yeah, wankers. So we went back to them, agreed a £2,500 reduction. So I think we bought that for 332,000, and then we got it. We did sort of interior decoration, no major works, but interior decoration, and then we got it valued at 435. So just over 100 grand uplift, which was brilliant. So remortgaged that one, and then in the meantime, then I had purchased a HMO, 8-bed student HMO in Sunderland. Pretty rundown property. Not structurally any problems, but just tired, dated. So we did I think it was about 65k refurb on that. So I paid 296 grand for that, 60k refurb, and then that got revalued at 490. So that's a good one as well, and that cash flows well now. Yeah, I've got 8 students in there, and then they're the big block that we just spoke about. So I was actively looking at this point again. Right, I did the HMO and I was like, yeah, it's good, but not as good as blocks. I don't feel it is as good as blocks because HMO is very management heavy, and I think HMO management is a pain in the arse, to be honest with you. And blocks offer much better. They offer the same kind of returns as HMO, but without having to deal with the hassle of HMOs. So I was always looking. I decided to focus on Sunderland because that's where I was seeing deals come up. The numbers stacked better in terms of cash flow and just generally they're just better. And I like the area. I mean, 10 years ago, I'd have never touched it, but they've invested heavily.
Have they?
Yeah, massive investment in it.
Like my understanding, or like I've never actually been to Sunderland. I've been to Newcastle, but I thought where it is always known for good yields, wasn't it? But Capel Grove wouldn't be as much 100%. As other places. Yeah. But is that sort of changing as well? Or
I think there's definitely areas of Sunderland where you're now seeing good capital growth. I think a lot of it is sort of individual to what you're expecting. Now, I'm buying at the moment, well, I have been for the past 18 months for the yield, for the cash flow. So I'm not too overly concerned about the capital prices. and that's just my strategy. I'm happy. I'm happy that they might not be worth any more money in 5 years. That's okay with me, as long as they're cash flowing well. I'm happy with that.
As long as you got them for the right price.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the right price.
Isn't it?
So and house prices are getting expensive up there. Do you know what I mean? There's areas of Sunderland now with like £800-900 million houses on the market, and people are moving there. They're building a new eye hospital. They've done a lot of redevelopment work in the city centre, a place called Keel Square. So they've redeveloped all that. And then down at the seafront, at Seaburn and Roker, that they've spent a fortune on the seafront. And in the summer, you'd think you're in like Spain or Greece or somewhere. It's unbelievable.
My brother used to live up there. He's going a bit off track. He was at North East. He was Alnwick. It's It's some beautiful places all the way up there.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you get the weather,
that's the problem. No, they just don't get the weather.
It's not known for the best, is it?
So I was looking, and I was actually at Centre Parks, and it was the Friday we were packing up to go, and I was on Rightmove. All of a sudden, I saw this block. I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "I'd love to own something like that." Yeah. So I texted my broker and was like, I'd love to own something like this. Would be the dream to own something like this. But the problem was it was up for 1.8 million, and obviously I didn't have 1.8 million. So I texted him, and why I get on with him so well is because we're both similar. We're both dreamers, and sort of there's no such thing as no. There's always a way to do it. So he was like, "Well, what do you think it's worth?" And I was like, back of the fag packet calculation, and I was like, "Mate, it's got to be worth at least 2.7 million, like as individual values." And then I think about 20 minutes later, I had the bridging loan offer from Castle Trust in front of me. And Castle Trust agreed to originally fund the whole purchase with no deposit down because of the value. Yeah. So we had it valued, and the surveyor gave us a value of 2.9 million on a 1.8 million purchase price, which was unbelievable. So I only had to find the stamp duty, which was commercial stamp. So that was like 79.2, I think, which was fine. And then we went down the conveyancing process, and then Castle Trust changed terms. The head of risk got involved, which is obviously it's prerogative to get involved. So it meant that I think the total cash needed then all of a sudden went to like 370,000, something like that, which was still a good deal, but it's cash that I didn't have because I had Grange Crescent was still going through the remortgage. My HMO was still going through remortgage. So I was a bit like, I'm going to have to walk away from it. We explored options like taking second charges and stuff, and I was like, I just feel it's too risky. But at the stage I was at, and then my broker rang me and said, "Wouldn't normally do this, but there's a couple that I know from London that they invest heavily in. Well, it's more north of Sunderland where they invest, but up there anyway." He said, "I think they'd be a great fit for you. Just they've got the money, but they haven't got the time or the passion for it, where like you have." So I had a couple of conversations with them, and please don't think it's always this easy, but they basically agreed to invest 400,000 into the deal. So we bought it. But with that, the cash flow was poor because the rents were extremely low. Yeah. Like people had been in that block for 15 years, and that one person was paying for a sea view because they're right on the seafront, so they look out over the harbour and the pier. And I think they're paying like £450. And we're HMO room in Roker Avenue, which is like the worst street around Sunderland probably. They're going for 550, 600. So it's a big asset management protocol basically of clearing out or raising the rents, which the tenants are absolutely amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like I get on with them so well, and they all understood. We bought it in March 25, and we didn't raise the rents to November, so we gave them plenty of warning. But as you were saying, that the real value in this deal is the sale of the flats, because ultimately we've pretty much got all our money back, but the only way that we're going to realise that 2.9 is to sell each flat. So what we came up with as an idea was, right, well, we'll offer 5% gifted deposit to each tenant. So we'll fund your deposit to buy the flat, and then that means that gives them a chance to get on the home ownership ladder. It then enables us to obviously still make money by selling them. And it's a win-win for all parties.
That's such a refreshing, nice thing to see, because not many people do that.
No,
do you know what I mean? And I think that speaks volumes for yourself, and especially for your investors as well to agree with that as well.
100%.
And that's like such a.
But I think that's it comes back to, yes, I was not forced into working with them, but it still, in those conversations that we had, it was a clear plan was set out of this is what we're going to do. How, like, it wasn't sort of here's the money, blah, blah, blah. We was all on the same ball with this is the way we're going to do it and this is our values kind of thing. And they are two really, really nice people as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have got into bed with someone that I didn't kind of get on with when I first met them, because I feel like you can judge a lot on the first meeting. But amazingly, this is, and I say this quite a lot now, that when people say landlords are leeches, and I'll say, but if a landlord sells property, there is no real reasoning that the tenant's going to buy it, because I offered it to 15 flats. I had one take me up on it. And so out of 15, only one tenant took us up on the offer, which is blows my mind.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
It's
Like
crazy.
you said, you've been gifted on the plate.
Some of them was like 12.5 grand deposit.
Exactly that. And like we all know, like I said, the same age. Like when you're starting off, let's say I've got friends that have rented straight away, just the circumstances are different, or have kids early and they just want to get out from the parents. Once you're in that, so hard to sort of get the money for deposit, isn't it? And like to give someone to basically gift it, out the goodness of their heart, really.
Yeah.
And to, like, I remember we've seen the photos of that block. Like you said, the view and that.
Oh, it's unbelievable, mate. I'd live there, 100%.
That's it.
And it's crazy. And I heard like reasonings were like, oh, we're going to Vegas, we just bought a car, and I just oh my god, it's mind blowing. People on Facebook will tell you that if landlords didn't exist, everyone would own their own house.
I've
and
offered
that's just,
to buy it.
It's absolute nonsense, mate. So that's the story of that one. So we now got that block.
Yeah.
It's a separate JV away from all my other stuff that I'm doing. I'm not really looking for any more JVs because, like I've spoke to you about it before, is that the pressure of borrowing investor money. I didn't like it. Really didn't sit well with me. I knew the deal was good. I knew the deal was strong. I knew what we were doing was right. But that pressure of owing someone an amount of money, that I just thought there's ways to scale and build without having to put yourself through that. It is good. For me personally, if I can build without using it, I will. That's going to be my plan moving forward. That being said, I would probably work with them again because I've built that relationship now. That's good. It's a good. The rents are obviously up, so it performs well now. It's a good asset. Although, was it 2 weeks ago? I was up there, thankfully. I don't think I've even told you this.
I've seen it on your Insta with the roof. No, I've got it dotted down on here. I was like, tell me about the roof.
So I was up there because I've got another 2 blocks that we're renovating completely. So I was up there checking on progress on that. And I was sat in my estate agent's having a cup of tea, and my phone went, and it was the tenant from Southcliff. And I answered. I said, "Hi, how can I help you?" Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, "I've spoke to my dad, but he told me to ring you. I've got water coming through my ceiling." And because the weather up there was horrendous. It was so bad. So I said, "Right, I'll come round. I'll have a look." So I've pulled up, and you access the car park around the back lane. So I pulled up in the back. I've looked up at the roof and can't see anything from the back. So I've gone up to her flat. And when she said leaking, it wasn't leaking, mate. It was like a tap, like it hammering in, like flowing in. So I was like, right, wait there, I need to go and have a look at the front. So I've walked down, come out the front door, and the first thing was the wind was that strong. I was trying to push the door outwards and it was blowing it shut on me. So I've walked out the front, I've looked up, and I just literally put my head in my hands like, fuck. The whole lead roof of the dormer was hanging off the side of the building, and there was just no roof on the dormer. And I was like, okay, we found the problem. But my problem was, no one would erect scaffolding in there. My roofer, who's a mad bastard, he wouldn't even go up a ladder in there. So I was like, there's literally nothing I could do. So I went back up to the tenant and I said, right, first things first, you can't stay here tonight because the water's coming in. The wind was howling in her apartment. So I said, I'll book you into a hotel down the road. But I had to book her into the dead expensive hotel because I was already staying in the shit hotel. And I was like, it's a bit weird if I book you in here as well. So I booked her into a hotel for the night and said, you go stay there. We'll put you there as long as necessary, really.
Till it's sorted.
Yeah. And then I spoke to my roofer, sent him photos, said, I need your help. So he said, yeah, we'll get scaffolding erected tomorrow. So scaff went up 6:30 the next morning. Roofer went up, temporary roof on, and then on the Friday they went back and refitted the roof, refitted all the tiles around it, made it fully watertight. So
unbelievable. Good. Same again, speaks volumes for you for just sorting that out. Like I said, thankfully you're up there to see it. Yeah. But like you said, just to we're putting them in a hotel because people it's massive expense, isn't it?
100%. Like it's like 180 quid.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. But she was. I think she's only been with us like 2 months, and she's like 21. Yeah, first time living away from mum and dad. Yeah. I just felt bad for her. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just the right thing to do.
Mate. That's what you got to do.
I always try and manage as if it was me. Yeah. What would I want to happen?
Yeah. So, and that's what you would want, isn't it? Exactly. Treat people how you want to be treated, mate, and it goes.
But yeah, it was. Thankfully, she had one of them massive, like a massive washing bucket thing. Yeah. So all I did was I slit a hole in the ceiling, right on the dormer line. And then all the water basically went down into the bucket. And then I was going, because I was staying at the hotel like 3 doors down. Every half an hour I was going back and emptying it. Yeah, so we saved the flat. Yeah,
that's what you got to do, innit?
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's a story, that one, mate. That's a good one.
And that like I said, I've seen the photos of that. Like you said, the roof had pretty much blown off.
Yeah,
to be honest. Like,
I think it took the roofer 7 lads to get it down.
And how quick that turnaround was, like, credit to him as well. And like this, I think when we spoke on the phone, we were chatting for ages, but how important is a good team?
Oh, massive.
And like, how did you find the roof? Just pure champs?
Yeah, so when I first started, it was hard up there. Yeah, because I didn't really know anyone that well. I didn't know tradesmen. I didn't know quality of work. Yeah. So when there was problems, I was kind of sending people that I didn't really know what they were doing. So we had to kiss a few frogs to sort of find the right team. But now, like, I've got my main guy up there, Ricky. He's plumber by trade, but does all sorts. And then I've got another couple of lads that Steve and Howie. Shout out Better Prospects Property. They're good lads as well. They're property investors, but Howie's a carpenter by trade, and they've got a lot of contacts up there. So it's about building relationships and ultimately being a nice person and paying people on time, paying people straight away. I always do that. Not quibbling with like 30 quid, 40 quid.
Anyone that thinks about the money. Like, it's like same again. Treat people how you want to be treated. If you've done the job, you pay the man. That's it, isn't it? It's
exactly.
It's not,
and
like,
it earns you that respect. Yeah. Like, if, like they say, when I ring the roofer, he knows that if he gets that roof up, I'm going to get him. I'm going to pay him whatever he
he's done the end of the week. He's getting paid end of the week. It's like he said. Same again. You can't believe some people ain't like that.
Oh no, it's crazy.
And if somebody had some horror story that I couldn't pay for something, they'd know, and it would be a genuine reason, but it wouldn't happen. I'd lend the money off someone else to give it to someone because it's.
And I think it's just honesty as well goes a long way. 100%. Do you know what I mean? If you're struggling, tell someone. Yeah, because they'll understand 99% of the time.
What you said as well, I think you can, when you meet someone for the first time, you can get a vibe, can't you?
100%.
I mean, obviously we've all been fooled probably now and again, but 9 times out of 10, you can tell, mate. You can get the measure of a man, can't you? Like,
and I think that the one good thing is that tradesmen often recommend other tradesmen. So you often find that your best recommendations come from a tradesman. So if you've got a plumber working, more than likely he probably knows a sparky, or he might know a roofer, or he knows a scaffolder.
100%.
And then that's how you build that connection then. But then it's up to you to manage that connection. So that, like, not sending, say I have a phone call now, and there's a problem whatsoever. If I said to someone, but then the tenant's not in, so they're pissing around out, I've wasted their time. So it's about making sure that you're not wasting people's time, and it's communication. And I think it was Parkfield where I learned it when it was last year. We had the housing officer for Stafford.
Yeah, the HMO. Is that the
HMO guy?
Yeah. He does that. He worked for the council. He approved him, didn't he? Yeah. He was a reasonable chap.
He was, and he said something that stuck with me. And he said that the biggest source of problems between tenants and landlords is communication. And he told us that story about where the boiler broke down. The landlord doesn't tell the tenant that the plumber's van's broken down, so the tenant thinks that landlord's not fixing the boiler, but the landlord thinks the tenant's been unreasonable, and it's just one phone call could have solved the whole problem. So, and I use that now mantra as The minute someone rings me or texts me, there's a problem.
Pass it on.
I'll say, right, this is the number.
Yeah.
Can you ring them and arrange a time? Even if it's going to be next week, just ring them and arrange a time with them so that they know that we're not forgotten about you. Yeah. And that's key, because ultimately property might be bricks and mortar, but it's property management is personal skills, and it's
people skills, isn't it? Some people just can't communicate, can they? No. And like you said, my to be fair, I've got a good plumber, I've got a good electrician. Yeah. And like you said, the plumber, like I said, he's got the tenants' numbers, and he just deals with it all. Yeah. And then like I always message him, you got any issues, you haven't heard back of, and let me know, and I'll chase it up. Yeah. But you never have to do that anyway. But like you said, it just having someone is a family friend, to be fair. So it helps when you know him, doesn't it? Yeah, it's just like, I know they'll go in. Same the electrician, like my best mate's brother. He's unbelievable. His work's just exceptional. I can't even say the word, but it's shit hot. Like. And
it's just about, like, I think as well what helps at the moment is because now I've got so many units up there, like people know that there's going to be a lot of work. So you get better prices, you get better response. And it's just natural sort of evolution of growing. Is
that your go-to area? Sunderland.
I'd say so.
That's yours, that's
I did recently. I've been thinking about stopping and focusing more like Midlands based, but then I'm like, well, I've just spent 2.5 years building a full team up there, so why move?
What would you have gone up there if it weren't for your wife being up there?
No, definitely not.
It's just sort of
it's just because I've been with her now for coming on 13 years. So I've been going up to Sunderland to see her dad and granny for 13 years. So I kind of almost like a second home to me. So I knew it very well. But yeah, without that connection, I don't think I would have.
No,
and it's like I wouldn't necessarily now go and like invest in like Liverpool.
No,
randomly. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I think if the block was big enough, like I went to view one in Nottingham a few weeks ago.
On the phone
on the way, and it's like. It was only 6, and I was a bit like, it's not worth it because I'd need to get it managed because I don't want to build a whole network again in Nottingham. So, I think for blocks, I'd probably keep focusing on the North East. Yeah. Although if a block came up around here that was good, then I would look at it. But I viewed one in Wolverhampton last week, and the prices around here are just mental money. They just want ridiculous money.
For not a lot.
When you look at the cash flow, it's like it's peanuts. You're talking about like one apartment empty in a block of 5, and that's it. You've got no money left. Which I think is very easily overlooked. But at the moment, my sort of focus at the moment is we're renovating. I bought 2 blocks off the same landlord. 10 apartments in total, 5 in each, and they're 5, 6 out of 10. They're livable, but they're not nothing special. So we're doing a whole schedule of works on them, and they're going to be the best apartments that you can find in Sunderland. Because I've quickly learned that rather than anything else killing the deal, what kills deals, in my view, is turnover of tenants.
Yeah.
Because the minute you have tenants leaving and going, you're missing out on a month, 2 months, 3 months rent, and then all of a sudden you're in a bad place.
Exactly that.
So my idea is to create the nicest places for these people to live, and the hope is that they don't want to move then.
I've seen the photos of your project up there, and like I said, they're unbelievable. Like I said, you're living in yourself. Like, and like,
oh mate, class. And that's what we aim for.
Same with my rentals. Like I've only got 2, but both of them, like just been in my house. Their kitchen cupboards ain't hanging off like mine are. Do you know what I mean?
We got a nice herringbone carpet.
But like you said, you can't, and like just get it as best as you can, because like you said, you can't. You want the best of the best.
100%.
And like you said, you attract a better person, and they want to stay for longer. And it just wants to be nice. It doesn't expensive. It doesn't have to be really expensive to be nice.
No, definitely not. And I think the days of sort of Uncle Jim the landlord that like uses the polyfiller to repair everything, they're long gone. And that ultimately comes, I think, from a place where people are paying a lot of money for rents now. Like rents are extortionate. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, they're affordable. They are extortionate, but rents are guided by the market, and they're guided by legislation and constant tax grabs on landlords and expenses on landlords. But rents are expensive. So because of that, people then expect a better product. Whereas they were paying 400 quid from a 2-bed apartment. If something was the matter with it, they're probably not going to moan about it because it's cheap.
A good price,
But now they want. Now you're saying, oh, I want 900, 950. They expect it to be good.
Rightly so, isn't it? As well,
100%,
really.
yeah.
But like you said, it's the with all that, they said people have been in it a long time. The payments were nothing, weren't they? They owned them, a lot of them. So like you said,
they could keep them.
They could afford to keep it low and just forget about it.
100%.
Whereas in now, like you said, it's not
doesn't
really
stack.
It
doesn't stack. And this is what I was saying to when we bought the big block, and I spoke to some of the tenants. I said, look, if I could, I would keep the rents where they are, but unfortunately, the previous owners, I think they inherited the blocks. They had no mortgage on it.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter to them. I was like, if I leave your rents the same, we're going to make no money on this. Do you know what I mean? And because of the way the rental market is at the moment, like they just fly off the shelf. It's crazy. Yeah. The shortage of rental properties is mind blowing. And I do think that we're going to see even bigger rent increases next year. Like I put my rents up in September last year. And I'm already now looking and thinking, bloody hell, like he's got to go again, yeah. So, but then there's the balance between keeping your tenants, like, so that's where the sort of human side of me comes into it. I'm like, I don't know. So like, we've had a few issues with, not issues like me with them, but some of my tenants have had a few issues like health scares with like cancer diagnoses and stuff. So the couple that was in. He was going through the cancer diagnosis. So I said to them, don't worry, we won't put your rent up to the point where you need to, if you can't afford it, tell me and we won't raise it anymore because I don't want you to leave while you're going through cancer treatment. And that's important to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're probably paying £250 a month less than what I could get for it. Yeah. But the last thing I wanted to do was be like, okay, well, here's your Section 21. Get out. In the middle of a cancer treatment, it's just not right. But some landlords would, mate. And it's probably the biggest thing that I've struggled with being a landlord is being the sort of harsh and stern side of it. Like if a tenant rings me up and says, "Oh, I can't pay," I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Pay next week." Whereas you kind of have to take your niceness out of it and act as a businessman, a business owner, and you wouldn't. The bank wouldn't accept it.
No, exactly that. I think I'm pretty lenient, but like, I'd draw the line. If you can't pay that, look, mate, you got to fuck off. I'm not in that sort of position to sort of.
I know exactly. That's the thing.
And it's just like, same again, treat how you want to be treated. I wouldn't be expected to get it. Don't wrong, ring up saying, look, mate, I'm struggling. I've got a payment coming. Can you just give me an extension? That's a different story, isn't it? But them just saying, I was like, look, we'll try and do something like this.
I know.
Like you said,
we've
all got bills to pay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean?
And I think that's the thing that because of this narrative in the media, everyone thinks landlords are like plush with cash and they're like cash rich. And it's just not the case, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, without giving too many details, where we're sat here in your house, but if you look on that, you drive, you've got my 12-year-old van and your however old it van. Like we're not driving around in Lamborghinis here. Do you know what I mean?
Out of
yeah. But do you know what I mean? It's not this this money sort of
Lamborghinis in the garage.
I hope so with the size of it. But yeah, it's not, mate. It's not. It really isn't. And especially when you're in a building phase, like all your money is reinvested back into the buildings themselves. So yeah, that's really probably where I'm at now.
Same again. Can we just touch on that with the? I remember you put something on the other day that you give. We were on about the human side because I really know. I know how much of a good bloke you are. Can you talk about the tenant? You give someone. You said the human over. We can talk about that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So glad you do.
You had me for a minute. I was thinking.
The tenant. He's having some troubles, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he didn't have he had a bad credit. And you say, look, mate, I really need this chance. The human side. And I think that's same again. Credit to yourself for giving someone a chance. And when this is what you said. When you meet someone, you know when someone's good, don't you? And you know when someone needs that. And I think that
100%.
That is so key.
Is my my builder Ricky. So we'd renovated one of the flats. Brand new, took it back to brick. We dropped ceilings, re-insulated, soundproofed it because we had when I first bought it, a lot of the tenants give me notice, and I was like, "Why are you all leaving? What's the matter?" And basically, they'd done the conversion terribly. They hadn't in between the floors. They hadn't soundproofed it, so like a pack of elephants were above you, mate. It was horrible. So yeah, we stripped it back to brick. We soundproofed it everywhere, insulated it, new kitchen, new bathroom, new boiler, new fuse, but basically everything you could do to it. Which in my head I thought would be cheaper than doing a house renovation for some reason, but it's not, because you're basically still renovating a house, but it's just a flat. So that was more expensive than I thought.
Yeah.
And then my builder Ricky, he said to me, he said, look, I've got a guy that I know from doing work at other HMOs. Real nice chap. I've known him for like 4.5 years. Like, he's no bother at all, but he's got lung cancer, incurable. So he is not going to be here at some point in the future. And he's living in some squalor in this HMO. He's seen the flat, really interested in it, but he's on benefits. He's got 2 CCJs against him. And I was a bit like, oh, fucking hell. Yeah. Like, the worst nightmare. You just wouldn't. So I said to him, look, if you're vouching for him, then what I'll do is I'll consider his application, but he's got to be honest with me about everything. So he sent me a massive message about his CCJs, like why it happened, all this, like rang him, spoke to him on the phone for about an hour. And I said, right, I'll put you through referencing, let's just see what comes back. Obviously it came back, failed, don't rent to him. Apart from the income, because obviously his benefits covered quite a bit of, well, they covered all the rent. So yeah, I went up, when I was up there with the roof incident, I met him, and really nice guy. And yeah, people might say I'm an idiot because he's got CCJs, but at the end of the day, someone that I have no connection with that passes a credit check might also not pay.
Exactly that.
So he's now in the apartment, absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, it was beautiful as well. I've seen the photos of it.
Yeah, it's stunning, mate. Absolutely stunning. And now he can live in there and just focus on his health and just chill out. Do you know what I mean? And when I said to him I was going to rent it to him, he was like crying down the phone and stuff. And then obviously you saw the text that he sent me.
It's like you said, it's just to do that for someone. And like you said, people don't see that side.
No, don't get me wrong. He's like I said on the post, he's paying me, so I'm not giving him a free apartment. But it's the chance that I'm taking on him.
A lot of people just
they just say no. But my point is that if you put it on open rent or go for an agent, then just because someone passes a credit check doesn't mean they're going to keep paying your rent, because they could lose their job, they could have a change in circumstances. So yeah, I do credit check everyone, and normally I'd say no, but because I had sort of a personal reference from my builder,
goes a long way,
massive way, because I trust them, and I also think that because of that relationship, he wouldn't fuck about anyway. Yeah,
well, they sort of know, don't they? Like, if I'm putting myself out.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
so don't make me
almost. Yeah,
but
then to counter that, I already said to Rick, I said, look, whatever happens with the tenant, this doesn't affect us. So I'm not going to be like, fucking hell, he's not paying Ricky, sort it out, you're mate, because that's what I don't want. That's what I didn't want to happen.
No, of course.
I didn't want him to get awkward with me or me to be awkward with him. So I said, right, I'll take him. Your personal reference is there for my sort of whole judgment, and it's a part of that judgment, but the rest of it is my call.
My call. I'm the all on that. Like, you got to take responsibility.
100%. So
well, if I don't know, like you said, it's makeable. At least he could be a mediator if something did go wrong.
Exactly.
As well, isn't it? But like you said, 100%. Like, I've seen the text, and like you said,
I don't think so.
No, exactly that, mate. And like I said, everyone has a tough time, don't they? At some point, and some of us just get like
just need a helping hand.
Exactly that. We all do, don't we? And like you said, it speaks volumes for yourself to do that. So. Cheers, mate.
It's nice.
Yeah, the recent deal in Cannock, can we quickly brief talk on that? Because I'll have you all day. Was that
commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Is it done or?
Yeah, nearly.
Nearly.
We can talk about it.
It'll be a couple of weeks till I sort this out.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to. I can edit out with.
But I won't say what it.
No.
What it is. Well, I'll say what it is. It's
crack on then.
Right. So yeah, commercial deal Cannock. So.
Great deal. You discussed about this in the meeting.
I did a while ago, and got told it wasn't a great deal.
It was a great deal, yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah, I knew you told me that. Fucking sounds brilliant.
So yeah, another one. I was literally walking my dog. That's as simple as it was. I was walking my dog. I saw a guy that I'd met once that knew some of my neighbours that we went to football with once. Dogs were playing away, so we just decided to carry on walking together. He literally said to me, "What do you do?" I said, "I'll buy blocks of apartments." He said, "Oh, you don't want a commercial unit in Cannock, do you?" And I was a bit like, "Where?" And he told me where, and I was like, "Yeah, definitely, I do." When I'd look at it, so it's a commercial unit with potential to go above, probably 2 stories above. and potential to convert the commercial into smaller units. So we've had pre-app designs done by the architect. I think we can get 8 commercial units in there. I think we're going for 2 6-bed HMOs and then 2 2-bedroom flats. So it's a good one. I've got the purchase price agreed. It's cheap.
Yeah.
We'll come back on and do a full podcast.
We'll do, I'd love to, mate.
And then build costs. I haven't got exact figures yet, but I'm probably estimating in the region of $500,000.
Yeah.
And I think based on research so far, if we get through what we want to get through, we should be looking at GDV of 1.8 million, I think. So we've probably cash. This one will be cash flow though. I think cash flow is looking about 16, 17 grand a month just off one deal. It's just mental. So, but I haven't decided yet fully what I'll do if I build it out myself. Do I get planning and then sell it on? So I've got it on an option agreement at the moment, which is another good thing. So it's on an option. But I'll definitely buy it. That's for sure, because even if I buy it and then just reconfigure the commercial space, I think it'd be a good purchase. So that's what I've got going on.
But basically, I've just got to go walk my dog around Cannock.
That's what it needs to do, mate.
Let the deal come to me.
I think it's key of. I'm not going to big up any training courses here because I don't fully believe in training courses.
We'll get on this. We'll get on to this now as well.
But I think some of them do say it's talking about it, it's telling people what you do, and I do believe that is the case. If you can get out there and tell people what you're doing, then things do come to you.
That's what I've got to do now with this. Like I said, at one point, I'd feel shy to say that I'm doing it. Like now, I'm doing it. Like I just
exactly back it.
And then, like you said, the opportunities will come to you, won't they? And you just got. Were you at the last Staffordshire meeting?
No, I was. I was in Sun. That was with my roof.
The roof was a bit busy. With a bucket. There was a chap saying that. He said he'd done some stuff in Anglesey.
Okay.
It's an interesting chap, to be fair. He's done some good, like doing like some retreats there and that. But he basically said that he's like, make it happen. And he said doing that. He was talking to the woman. I can't remember the story, so I'm butchering it really. But basically, he just told this woman what he was going to do, and she had something for sale that was perfect for him. He took it over, and this is like he title split a lot of it, and he like he said, it's a hell of a deal in the end. And like he said, you just got own it. Like he said, and not like just you just got.
Ultimately, like. There's nothing to be embarrassed of, because if people don't like it, then fair enough. They don't like it, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Don't bother you. Do you know what I mean? No one's going to say, fucking hell, Joe, you idiot. Why are you doing that for? Like, who cares?
Exactly.
What are they doing? They're sat on their arse doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I think. Just tell people what you're doing. Because people that don't want to see it won't look at it anyway.
Exactly that.
So the only people you're missing out on are the ones that if you spoke about it, they would probably listen that don't know about it.
It's always like saying, everyone's like saying you've got a certain cup of tea, aren't they? Like, so just and it attracts what you put out. Exactly. And then that's 100%. Yeah, and I think that's a great lesson, to be honest.
I'm not massively into like
manifestation.
But I'm getting into it recently. I really do really seeing the power of it.
Visualizing, and then like you said, I'm a massive believer in karma as well as being a good person. And then
definitely.
I think that's why, like this why getting the deals coming to you. You know what I mean? Like,
I do think it costs nothing to be nice. At the end of the day, does it? And that's the key to it. It costs you nothing to be a nice person and help people where you can. And I think it's often so overlooked in society. And I think because of where we live, sometimes it's hard because you're nice, and then someone's shit to you and you think, oh, fucking hell, right, why'd you bother? But I think it's just important to be nice and just respectful and manners. Do you know what I mean?
Manners. My kids like manners.
Oh, mate, I'm on mine all the time.
Open the door, thank you. Just little things, and that bounce to the big things,
massively.
Doesn't it? And if you don't say thank you, hold the door open up.
Well, say like, oh, Dad, can I have a drink?
I'm like, what do you say? That's what you do. It's just little things, isn't it? And it's just like, it's so important. It is so important.
And it's just the whole manifestation. The values. And I think those kind of values shape you as a person. And if you're like walking through and not holding the door open for anyone, then that kind of sums up the type of person you are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you ain't holding it, you ain't saying thank you. I would say, I will. I can't help myself but say a comment. I'll hold the door then, mate. And it's just like, you just do a little acknowledgement, and then like, say if you stop, you stop in your car.
No one's going to say thank you.
Did they say wave? Like,
I'm fucking wank.
We should never stop now.
That's what I'm like. But it is, and I think it's important to. There's a woman. called Kerry Mountjoy. And she's a mindset coach.
Yeah.
And I went on her mindset retreats about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And that was all about like manifestation. And they did an exercise or a kind of challenge where they had an arrow. And you have to put the arrow in the sort of pit of your neck. And you have to walk forward to snap the arrow. Yeah. Obviously, when you initially step forward, it hurts like on your neck. But it's that sort of manifestation of seeing what you want to get to and moving forward to break the arrow. So I am getting more into the manifestation, definitely.
Where was that
at? It was at Studley Castle. It was a day event down in like South Birmingham.
Oh, is it? So not too far away.
No, not too far. But she's good though, Kelly Mountjoy.
I'll have to check that because like you said, you think it's
but no, I do. I see the power.
You got to open up, and it is. Yeah. It's massive.
Because at the end of the day, it's the circles and you're mixing, isn't it?
100%.
That's the thing.
My biggest one, I would say, nothing's going to change if I don't change.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do this, want to do that.
Yeah.
But when I'm just going to work, going to the gym and not doing anything.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
Like, I've got to do this, get yourself out there and doors will open. Like you said, get yourself in the corridor. It might not be the door you think it's going to open, but another one will.
Yeah.
And it'll just lead you to different ways. Yeah. But like, what I do now, if I fucking sit at home and there,
nothing's
going to happen. It's not going
I think that's the problem with the world today, though, that everyone wants instant results. They want instant results. Like, I've been literally for the last 2.5, 3 years now, just like non-stop, and I still haven't got a car.
No,
do you know what I mean? I still like I'm going on holiday, but I'm not going on no fancy like. Do you know what I mean? Like 5-6 grand holidays. Like we rent an apartment in Spain for 10 days and go on that, which is obviously I'm appreciative because it's more than most people.
Yeah, exactly that.
This idea that getting into property brings Lamborghinis and Ferrari is just absolute bollocks. And I think if that's your reasoning for getting into property, I don't think you succeed. Do you know what I mean? Exactly I really don't. Because if your motivation is money, I don't think property is not anymore. It maybe was back in the day, but nowadays it's more about your time.
It's pretty hands-on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is massively hands-on.
I mentioned this the other day on about passive income. Like, passive income ain't there with you in the bucket. Fucking off.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is, that if you want to manage your properties well, then you need to manage them. Yes, there's good managing agents out there. There are. I'm not going to say they're all bad. But they don't care about your house as much as you do.
Exactly that. At the end of the day, the landlord's still responsible.
Exactly.
So like you said, you're still paying that money out. I've run mine myself. It's a learning curve, isn't it? But I'm obviously small at the minute. And obviously, hopefully, I'll get. Want to get 100. Just get it out there.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Manifest it.
Manifest it. It's coming. It's coming.
We'll get a big 100 on here behind me.
Big 100. I'm fucking getting out with my dog. I'm not coming home until someone offers me 100 houses.
If anyone's got 100 houses.
Yeah. 100 houses. You've got to give me. Just hit me off. But like, it is, you just got to get yourself out there. Change, like you said, that's the biggest thing, isn't it? Like you said, don't. And I've got friends like they'll probably whinge about something. I'll be like, well, fucking do something then. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Like they're not happy or they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. Yeah, well, you're the only person that can change it.
Just give it a go, just give it a go. And like
what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's, I can't remember who said it now, but it was someone, and I don't even know if it's property related, but they said something like, well, if it goes tits up and it don't work, then I'll just go back to doing what 99% of the population do and get a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. Like that's the worst case scenario, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I say do this. I was looking at my mum lives down the road. Worst case, if it went tits up, I'll move back in with mum for 6 months, get back on my feet, and we go again.
Exactly.
And then imagine getting to like, it is like that cliche. Imagine getting to your deathbed and you think, well, fuck me, I never tried that because of what someone said, or I was going to risk this. Like you said, we've got a nice house, I've got no car. I can get that again. Do you know what I mean? Or 100%. You can, like you said, you can sell them. Life's up. You just got to give it a go, haven't you? 100%. Give it a go.
And like someone also said that we're lucky enough to live in one of the only countries in the world that's got like whether it's good or not isn't open for debate, but it's a welfare state that ultimately, if we lose everything, the state will look after you.
I think that is a great thing. The problem we have with that, we're getting people just take the piss, don't they?
Yeah,
and it's the same again. It's the wankers that affect it for the good people. Like yourself, you want to help anyone you can, don't you? That actually needs it. But the fact you got some bloke at home with a bad back, it just can't be arsed. It's just like it's not.
But worst case scenario is if you fail, then the state are going to be there to give you money. They're going to house you. Well, try and house you.
Friends, family, isn't it?
Exactly.
Anyone would, like you said, you sleep in your car if you had to, wouldn't you? Like, and it could be a lot better than a lot of people around the world. And like,
100%.
You just got to take that.
You have,
it'd have to go bad, wouldn't it?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like,
you've got to make some real fuck-ups, mate. But people do, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
people
like,
do.
Laugh really good, like you said.
I got a call last week from someone that had bought a house, Dudley, I think it was, I think they paid about 80 grand for it. They spent like 40 grand work renovation. It sadly fell through twice, 170 because of issues with the roof. But then the biggest problem was his bridge expires on the 1st of May. So he's now stuck with 90 grand's worth of bridge that matures on the 1st of May. And he's like desperate now to get rid of the house.
That'll motivate you to sell.
Yeah, but it's just like people just get into messes, man. Bridging finance is very good. I love bridging finance, but it's good when you've got a managed exit plan.
Yeah.
It's not good when you've got no idea how you're going to pay off that bridge, or if you're relying on a sale. Because what people don't realise is that houses take fucking ages to sell. So if you're doing a renovation project, you might get it done in 2 months, but then it might take another 4 or 5 months to sell.
A third of houses fall through, don't they?
Yeah, it's bonkers. So bridging on low, sort of up to 200 grand, I would say it's probably the most riskiest thing that you could do in property, I would say, because the costs are astronomical.
Yeah.
The risks are massive because you're under such time pressure to get it done, sell it on, to pay that bridge off. And I think so bridging flips up to about 200 grand is probably the most riskiest strategy you could do in property, I think. And I see people get caught out by it time and time again, because generally people might have 30, 40 grand and they're like, well, I can get a bridge for 120 grand. And then they end up in a mess. Do you know what I mean? Like one of my mates, he's took a bridge. And I think the bridging fees are like 13 grand on like 100 grand. It's mental money.
And like you said, once you get over that limit, and
it's crazy, mate.
Like you said,
if you miss a bridge,
if you miss that one, when you go over the complete,
they're coming after you. It's a fortune.
It's that is a terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it. Basically, your house is gone then.
Like you said, it's sort of I'm up for a bit of risk, but you've got to be.
It's managed risk.
I'm quite sensible. I am, to be fair.
I don't know about that. You've been telling me about a swimming pool.
My mates have said it's funny shit like that. But do you know what I mean? It's calculated, isn't it?
Yeah, calculated.
You know what I mean? There's got to be risk, but this is like while we're manifesting. Any investors want to have it off for me? Like,
he wants a new swimming pool.
How's the house coming on? Yes, I'm fucking swimming.
God.
I'm dead honest.
I think it leads quite well into probably what we'll talk about next, which is like the training.
Yes, I fucking completely forgot about that. No, because we spoke about it on the phone, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And like some of these, and I think education's great.
Yeah,
going to a profit meet, etc. Meet some people, get a mentor, or like for a reason. Like I say, get someone like I won a mentorship, to be honest.
Yeah.
Were you there at the profit meet?
No,
I won one with Jim. You heard of Jim Alleyburn?
Oh, Jim, HMO dad.
Yeah. What a bloke, mate. It's funny as fuck. I won it with him, and like, it's normally like $8,000 course. And then like, I won it, he'd give it away as the top prize at the thing. He picked my name out of all the shit.
No way.
And like, but like, I'm like I said, I'm contradiction here. I'm a bit of a tight fucker.
Yeah,
but like, I think if you can pay something to do, but obviously I've won it, and I'm grabbing it with both hands.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's such a card. Like, he's 74. He didn't start till he was 40.
Yeah.
And like, what he's built up is
crazy, isn't it?
Like,
it's crazy.
Like,
it's unreal. I wish that we was around in that time, though, man, because that time was
just Well, like, he said obviously he didn't start till he was 40 as well. I think he's 74 now, so 34. He would have been 1990 that he started. So he'd still be good, but like he wishes the same. That he wishes he started
even earlier.
He always wanted to do it. Yeah. And same again. He become a lecturer, I think, and then he just never did. And then I think he split with his wife, if I remember. I could be. I'm going to get him on, so I could be.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because he's funny as well. Like I said, he's 74 now. Doesn't need to do it, but he loves it.
But he still does it.
Yeah. And like he said, the amount of houses he provides for like people that are struggling, etc. Is off the charts. And like he said, people can say, "Oh, it's." But he's creating a service, and then like,
and people are paying for it.
Well, exactly that,
and there are good training courses out there. Yeah. No doubt about it. There are very good training courses out there, but I think one thing that I don't agree with is the astronomical fees that are charged. They're like, I get what people say. I get people's argument is, well, you pay that fee to go to university, but you would. Yeah. But I just feel like people could be better value for money, and I think quite often you get roped into these courses, and I meet people that have spent like 100 grand. That guy I met.
Tell me the story. The Belfield on it. The Belfry. Sorry.
Yeah,
Belfry I was at the golf course.
Yeah, I was at an event, Property Entrepreneur Summit, got invited by one of my friends, Mark Burrows. I think he went to Parkfield last time.
I'd like to meet.
We'll
have to.
We'll
I'd like to
get
get a chat with him. Because I remember you saying he's a bit of a geezer.
He's a good lad.
He does the day property event.
Ming, Midlands Investor Network Group.
Yeah, he seems a nice chap to be fair. Yeah.
So he got us some free passes through Gillian Black. So we went. And I think it was like $5,500 per person, like for 3 days at the Belfry. And don't get me wrong, we got good. The first couple of days were good, very good. The third day, I felt like I was in a cattle market being sold to. It was unbelievable, the sales techniques. But yeah, I was on a table with a guy, and he was asking me, well, like, have you done this mentorship? Have you done this mastermind? I was like, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. I was like, have you done them? He was like, yeah. I was like, Jesus, how much have you spent? He was like, I spent 120 grand. I was like, oh my God. Just go and buy a fucking house, mate. What are you doing?
5 houses there.
Yeah, and I think the whole training thing in property, people get so wrapped up in, I need to do training. Yeah. And rather than go and buy a deal, they just do more training courses and they never do anything. And I think my personal point of view is that people are getting people tied into these 12-month courses and they're not getting great value for money from them. And they're so expensive. And they're probably a bit early in their journey for that course because they're teaching them about stuff, but they haven't even got a property. So why are you learning about that stuff if you've not got a property? You don't need to know it.
Exactly
what you need to do is go and buy a property and then do your training. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying don't do training, far from it, but I think there's better ideas out there. And just talk to people, because that's one thing I really hate in property is that it's so like secretive. Like no one really gives away they'll tell you, right, this is what I do, but they won't tell you this is how I do it. They'll just say this is what I do. And then you're like, well, how do you do that? And it's like, well, if you want to learn, it's just 12 grand plus that. Like, it's just a bit, that's my bugbearer.
It's just a bit of bollocks, isn't it? Like,
it is.
And it's, I think, like I said, I agree with training good to an extent, but like, it's value for money, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like you said, if you're not, like you said, it's, obviously, like you said, you don't know because I haven't done some of the courses, but like some of them that you see, like my friend of mine, he done 15 grand. For him and his, he did for him and his wife, and then he did try and get his wife involved because he wanted it to be on board with it. He didn't want him nagging when he's doing it, and he works really hard and that, and he done it, and he sort of like did it, but it started off well and all that, and it's good, and he's paused it. He's still got 6 months, but he regrets it, and he just like, and I think that Rob Stewart I had on a couple of weeks ago. Rob's a really top bloke. And it is, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but he does like a day down in London.
Okay.
I think it's about 70, 80 quid.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about this, weren't we?
It might not even be that much, mate. It might be that for the 2 days. Or it's really reasonable. Yeah. And he's brilliant. And you learn a lot. And that is value for money. You don't have to, just because it's more expensive, it ain't the best, is it? That's what probably, that's probably,
and I think that's what we were talking about, isn't it? It's that commitment, like that is perfect, but amazing. Rather than signing up to a 12-month course. Yeah. And they offer like, this and that, and then next thing you know, you're signed up for 12 months.
Yeah, you got one-to-one with 20 other blokes in there. It's funny one-to-one.
Yeah, exactly. And ultimately, property is so varied. There's so many strategies. There's so many ways. There's so many reasons why. There's just so much within the industry that training necessarily one-to-one, you sort of push to whatever that person's training is doing, and it's kind of like, right, this is the right way to do it, this is the right way to do it, and it might not be right for you, but you're now signed up for that course of you've got to do it that way.
Well, going back to Jim's thing, he very much pushes that you're hands-on. He said, like, obviously the further away you get it, you have to sort of manage it, etc. But like, if you become a landlord, because and like I say, if you're good with people, that's what he's got a very management company. So but like, if he's recommending, if you just got 10 by yourself, do it yourself. Like, if it's not, like you said, passive incomes, it's a bit of a myth, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it's massive myth, mate, absolute myth.
But it's like, get in there, get your hands dirty, get into it, and then you learn, don't you? And
you do.
Another great thing about Jim, while we're on it, like I know obviously I won the mentorship with, and I'm absolutely buzzing about. And then you
for sale for $4 grand if anyone wants it.
If anyone wants all his
Fund the
stuff.
swimming pool.
But with he does as well. You can go and work for him for free, X amount of hours on the side of your normal job, or whatever, and see how the system and get your basically earn your mentorship with him. So
That's
you get
cool.
this program, and like I don't see any people doing
No,
that.
no, that's
and
very
like
cool.
he said, and it's like Jim 74.
That's probably the best thing ever.
And and like he said, when I get him on, I'll get him to talk about it because he was telling on the Zoom. He had one of the lads in there who was doing it. He's like doing his day job, and then he's doing X amount of hours there a week to get. Can't remember how many hours. He'll tell you how many hours you have to complete to do it. But once you start doing it, you're sort of in, and then like you'll learn.
You're basically working for free, but you're learning.
You're getting hands on, and like you can go and work. He's got like a building team. He's got that team, and you can go and see. And like I've done that a bit myself. I've got a lot of friends in the trade, so I didn't see bits like that. But for someone, it doesn't.
It's fresh,
and exactly that, mate. And I think like that's the nice thing to see because he's getting for something, but he's doing it in the good of his heart, really.
Yeah. He doesn't need it.
He basically the person going to help him is going to be pretty fucking shit. To be honest, like when we first start anything with shit,
he's not going to get a shit managing agent, is he? Out of it?
Yeah, exactly. But
that's good. I didn't know that.
It's good to see, isn't it? Because you see,
but that's real lived experience, though, isn't it? Because my other bugbear with a lot of these people is that they're offering training. They're not even fucking doing property. Their training business is bigger than their property business, and it's like you're giving advice on property, but you're not actually doing any property deals. And I think it's very.
All smoke and mirrors.
It is, and it's become now.
But because you've got the flash car and that.
Exactly, they've got the Lamborghini on like rental or something like that. And it's like, the richest people I know drive around in like your average car. Their clothes, you would look at them and you'd walk past them in the street. And I think that's the real sign of wealth, let's say. This modern era of show off stuff.
With Jim, when I went to his, I was looking around, I was like, where's the car in that? And then I got an old Audi A4 thing. And then he had like some old Porsche, another one. But I think there's something up. It's like an old one, like an old, I can't remember, KN one, the big one. And I thought it was an old school. I was like, I love that. It's pretty cool. And then there's something up with it. And I was asking like the horse that works for him. But he said he's a nightmare for just buying cars, like just older ones that aren't.
Really?
Like, but like, like you said, I was expecting if it was me, man, I'd have the Bentley. Do you know what I mean? Like when I get to that point, like when I've got how many millions worth.
I think it's just. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a nice car. But it's not a priority.
Right, like
you know what I mean? I think that's the difference. Some people. That is their main goal. Where for me,
I'd be lying if I said wait for me. I love cars. I love them. But like you said, I've got a long way off it.
100%. But if it's a choice between buying a car or building a portfolio, and
it's not happening.
Another financial commitment, which means then all of a sudden, your disposable income's then gone down because you've got this financial commitment, which means then I'll go and do more. Like I'm now at a stage where I'm trying to keep all my commitments down so that I can just.
Keep going and going.
And I choose what I'd want to do with my time. So in terms of, for me, I think we were speaking about it the other day. So like my next big thing that I'm looking to do is launch mentoring. But shake the sector up basically and do
not take the piss.
Not take the piss and do one-off sessions rather than you've got to book on for a course of 12 months. It's basically book a call in. An hour, half an hour, really cheap prices. Do you know what I mean? We're talking like 30, 35 quid, 60 quid for an hour, something like that. And basically you bring your problem to me and I will sit with you and we'll go through the numbers. We'll look at does it work? Is it a good deal? Because what I found, and thankfully I had my broker really to soundboard off, but what I found when I first got into this was I needed like guidance and advice and just reassurance. But because none of my friends are in property, they don't give a fuck really, right? They don't understand it. My missus don't really care. Like she doesn't really like property. No. So you kind of like you're looking at a deal and you're like, does it work or not? It is very lonely, and so I'd have loved at that point then to be able to book a call in with someone and go, right, this is my deal. I just want an honest opinion of what you think of it. And I don't think anyone's doing that at the moment. So that's what we're going to launch soon, hopefully.
You'd be great as well, Dave. And like I say, just because you're on a decent chap, and like you said, every time I speak, like your knowledge is incredible. Like you said, you got your good network and that.
Yeah, mate, I'd get too big here, mate.
Yeah. I need a bigger room.
I won't be able to get out of the door.
Well, it is true. And it's just like you said, and I think there is, like you said, there's a massive market for that needed. And like you said, you just need to like. I remember you hadn't put news there. Your goal was to post every like more, wasn't
which
it?
I've failed.
Yeah. But you need to do that because people need to know how good you are and how well you are doing with it. And not even just for that, just so people know that phone call's worth its weight in gold for that money. And like you said, you'll get there because if you're going to some bloke or something you see online or something, it talks a good game and all that. 100%. If you do all that, you pay all that money, you ain't ringing him.
No,
do you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get someone that works for him. It'll just be singing off the same in sheet. Like, and it's just like they're not gonna.
It's not tailored like one-to-one support. You know what I mean? And the beauty of this is you can have as many or as little.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like if you like met someone for a coffee and that, and just had everything there, and like you'd. And I know you'd give him longer than half hour anyway because you'd be there all day with him. Like, I
think that's the personal touch, though, isn't it?
Exactly,
you know what
because you'd want to help him because you're a good man, and like you'd say, look, we can do this here, or I know this chap, we can get this done, or like to be honest, mate. This ain't that great. We'll do it. And you'd get the honest answer. Not falling with bullshit just to get the money or anything like that. Just be honest, and that's what we need.
Yeah, it's what we need, and I think it's a really good thing because, like I say, you could book in 5 calls a week if you really wanted to, or you could book 1 call in and never come back. Yeah, but it's that option to get like deal analysis, guidance, advice. But again, to caveat things, it's like when I've set it's set up, but I haven't sort of published it yet. Yeah. But when I've set it up on that calendar, it basically asks what type of deal are you bringing. So like if someone fills in like ground up development, I'm going to be like, nah, here's your refund. I don't know about ground up development. Which is again, I think that like people would be like, I'll talk about ground up development when they know nothing about it.
They'll just fucking they'll take the money and run.
But for me, I'm like, I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
If someone bought me a ground up development deal, was like, I'll be like, no. I haven't got a clue, mate. So I'm not going to be saying, bring me them. But they've got like block of flats, a HMO. Flips, even just guidance on numbers, just reassurance. You know what I mean?
Well, so that's all you need sometimes, isn't it? You just need someone just to be there, like you said, just have a look, and just a second opinion. And like 100%. You said, that costs what it could make you a lot of money, it could save you a lot of money.
100%.
And like you said, it can just. And I know what you said. You'd go above and beyond and help them anyway. And it's just have someone there, like you said. It can be hard, can't it?
And if you think it's shit, then you've only wasted 35 quid, not 12 grand.
You haven't done it, And then, like you said, don't fall for the crap of these things you see online.
And I think one of the big advantages that I have, obviously, I've got like amazing solicitors, amazing broker. My broker, I'm biased, but I think he's the best broker I've ever met. Like, he's so involved in all my deals. Basically, like I said, I find a deal and the first thing I do is text him, look at this, what do you reckon?
Didn't you say he's an investor as well?
Yeah, he's an investor. He invests in HMOs.
He's on it then, isn't he, as well? Because that's what... a bit of advice I got off Jim, which I sort of do. You take it with a pinch of salt, but don't trust professionals. You know, when you go to someone, I've done this when I've got in and I wanted to put my old house into company straight away, and they said you couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, I remember talking about this.
I took the word for it, and I say not to her because she was brilliant and everything. She was a great broker, but I think she just
didn't understand.
Not even understand. I don't want to disrespect, but like a commercial bloke they'd make it happen, wouldn't they? And they get other lenders, don't they? Of course they do, and that was like my own fault for not. I should have got out there and done it, but like spoke to my missus, oh no, they should be on it, and then I was just like, I should have given you a call, and I've got you a broker, we'll sort this out. It could have been done now, so I've got this headache going forward. It's going to cost me a lot of money, really. And it's just that I am going to do it, but you've got time. It's it, mate, and it's just like this all could have been done for the sake of me not having a phone call, knowing it out there, because I just started going to the property meets, and I mentioned it to 1 or 2, and. Like I said, not everyone. It's a bit of a complicated thing, isn't it?
I think property is a weird thing where you've got solicitors, but then you've got property solicitors, and they're completely different things. Like some solicitors, like some of the stuff that I started doing with my blocks to start with, like they were like bamboozled, didn't have a fucking clue what I was on about, and they were telling me, "No, you can't do this." And I was like, "I know I can." So it's finding the right people. It's finding the right broker, the right solicitor, the right lender, they're willing to work with you. And
that's why I mean that. Don't trust professionals. Don't mean it like properly. I mean just like don't always take someone's word.
No, definitely
not. Look it up on yourself because, like I said, you know what you're doing. Like I said, people don't know what they don't know. No. They're not trying to do you for money, are they? No. Not all the case.
But it's like we had on Southcliff, the big block, when we had the reval done. My broker rang me and he was like, fuck. He was like, we've been downvalued, mate. And I was like, what? How? I don't understand. And I was like, how have we been downvalued? So I looked at the report from the surveyor, the valuer, and I was like, fuck, we've been proper downvalued by like 400 grand. And I was thinking, fuck, this is going to fuck my deal a bit. Yeah. So I started going through all the paperwork. I started adding all the numbers up, because obviously numbers are my background anyway.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I realised that he'd fucking put the wrong number in. So the total at the bottom of the page was different. When you added all the flats up, it come back to 400 grand plus. And it was just a software glitch. Yeah. But because he produced that report to the lender, we had to go back to him and I had to say, mate, look, I'm not disputing your report, but the total value of flats, you've put the wrong total in. And thankfully, because I've got a good relationship with him, he was like, no problems, I'll change it straight away. But my broker said, if he didn't change that,
you're fucked.
Then the lender would just use that. Doesn't matter, it's wrong. They would use that. And I was like, shit, man. Like,
400 grand, hell of an error, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
but it's such an easy thing to do. And people miss stuff like that.
It's that as well. Like, some people ain't got the confidence to say, oh, no, it must not be worth it. They wouldn't they? They wouldn't look into it. And it's always check.
You've got
always check, second guess everything, and just don't. If you think something's wrong, like you said, just investigate it and then just 100%. Understand it. And like I've had it with the accountant recently. So it didn't work out, and I was like, I did me research. Like, no, I can that can do, and then went back to him because I asked him ages ago, and then he looked back. He's like, oh no, you are right. I was like,
I knew it.
Yeah, fucking knew it was. And then like, but if I hadn't done it again, because when I asked him the first time, I thought I must have understood it wrong. He's the accountant, I don't know. And then I had to look into it again. I was like, and it's a couple of months after this was it come up again. I was like, I've seen this again now. I asked him like last time. I need to get it to him, and I sent it and asked him, is this? Can I do this? Like, yeah. And he's like, and obviously he don't know what he don't know. He ain't trying to do me. Like,
no,
it weren't anything like that. But like he said, I just when you got an in, go with it, and like you said, get a second opinion. Don't be. And I think this is what my problem was with my first mortgage broker. I didn't want to offend him. I did question it again, did it again, and I was like, well, of course she's obviously, you know, and then, but like, not knowing what I do know now, that different people, like, especially some of the people I've met now at the point meetings, they've got like a different list. Obviously, I know yourself now, I'll be like, look, what can I do with this?
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like,
it's just building that network. Because the people that you're networking with, people you're networking with of doing it and done it.
Yeah.
So they know how it works. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you said, I need a solicitor that can do title splits or this and that, I'll say, I'll use these people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in a few groups and my neighbours are extending their house and they need to pile the ground. And I was like, no way you're piling that without serving a party wall notice on me. But I was like, I don't know party wall surveyor. So I put in one of my groups that I'm in. Does anyone know a party wall surveyor? Straight away, I've had about 10 recommendations of party wall surveyors, and I've got a guy, absolutely unbelievable. It has been around there this afternoon.
Sorting it out.
And you've basically, your network is your net worth. I know it's cliche, but it is, mate.
I say that every time.
It's so good, man.
You sort of feel like a knob saying it.
Yeah, you do. It's true. It's true.
You are who you hang around with, mate.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. And the more people in that network, the better it is for you.
100%.
And I was actually talking to Mark Burrows yesterday, and we were talking. I won't name him, but there was just someone that we kind of know. And he's doing a deal with him, and someone said to him, "Why are you doing a deal with it? What does he bring to the table?" And Mark was like, "Yeah, but I want to get in his network. I want to be in his circle. Do you know what I mean? Because he's such he's a genuine. The lad he's doing it with is a real nice guy. He's really well connected, and it's that whole of." I don't think there's no shame in jumping on someone else's back and joining, everyone joining together. You don't really get anywhere just being on your own. But if you can join with people and be around people, then you will change.
Exactly, as long as we're going in the right direction, mate.
Exactly,
isn't it? Like you say.
Yeah.
Superb. Right, we're getting to the end. But I want to know for myself. Three favourite books, like self-development, just for myself. Not what are your favourite three that you can recommend?
I'm not a massive book reader.
I'm giving it beans. I'm on Audible, mate. I don't really.
Yeah, so I'm probably like podcasts.
Yeah, I'm a big
massive podcast. But in terms of books, the pretty much cliche like Rich Dad Poor Dad one. That's a good one. The one I'm listening to at the moment, I think it's the 7 Rules of Manifestation or something
I've listened
like
to that.
I think that's good. And then podcast wise. There's a few. I like Diary of the CEO sometimes. I know that's
some good people on
debatable, but they do get some good people on there. I don't listen to some of them.
He's a bit of a peculiar character, isn't he?
He is a bit of a weird character.
Like,
I can't put my finger on it.
No, I'm exactly the same because I do, but I really enjoy some of the ones as well. And I was like, obviously what he's done is incredible, isn't it? But I'm like, some of it, like, I was like, he's just a bit peculiar, isn't he? And like, I don't mean to say that in a nasty way either, but like, it's just, but like, obviously what he's done is
amazing. I feel sometimes like he's a bit of a bit like me actually. He's a bit of a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So he like changes to whatever guest he's got on.
Yeah.
But what he's built is amazing.
Well, really.
So that's a good one. And then obviously one we were talking about earlier, property developers.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't done that. Yeah. I've been tunnel vision on me sort of own shit in a minute. And then
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
And then God,
where's he based? Do you know?
I think he's based in Leeds.
Is he sort of like
or Crewe? Somewhere around
hell of a
there.
difference.
I can't remember, mate. I don't know.
I'll find that because I'll have to check that out.
I'm sure it might be Leeds. I think it's Leeds.
Because I'll have to check that out because I've been
property developers show. It's good.
Is it? Have you ever listened to the property podcast? The two Robs.
Yeah.
I used to listen to there like when I first got into it. Listened to loads of them, and then like I said recently, I've just fell off listening to them. But they're not long, and I need to get back on it because they just keep you well informed.
Yeah, they do.
It's just they're really good. They are.
Yeah, they're good. I like podcasts because podcasts. If I'm walking the dog, podcasting. If I'm driving my van, I've got a podcast. I hardly listen to music anymore now.
Same. I'm no radio anymore.
No.
I'm at work in the truck. I've got podcasts on or an Audible book. And that's why I just ask for recommendation now because I'll be driving for a long time. I burn through the I need to get back on it because it does they all out you, don't they?
Oh, massively,
It is.
I'll have a look, Matt. Tell you.
But I've got the Rob the other week. He recommended Richard Branson's autobiography, and I've heard a few people say that, and I never listened to it. Started listening to that the other day.
Good.
Superb, yeah. And it's just like when you like you said you listen to something, it's just like you enjoying it, and it just keeps
Atomic
going
Habits.
Well, listen to that one, mate.
That's and the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
I haven't had that one. I'll give that a go. Yeah,
Mark Manson. That's good.
I might have had that on me. Because whatever I get, like, what you're saying, I'll get this on the wish list, and then like when I go through, I get gone. But like, you said,
subtle art of not giving a fuck because it's about basically what we're talking about, like not caring what other people think.
Yeah.
Or the let it go theory, Mel Robbins.
No, I haven't heard that one either.
That's a good one.
Just get that. I'll check that out as well. I'll have to
let it go theory. Or let them theory. So now if someone's been a knobhead, let them.
Fuck it,
Don't get wound up by it.
Yeah,
like someone slams the door in your face. Don't be like, what are you doing? Let them.
The chimp paradox one. If you listen,
that's good.
That's good on that. It's understanding, isn't it?
Good and the bad.
Yeah, it's understanding why you do what you do and just don't, and it's just understanding yourself. I thought that was 100%. Good. Yeah,
I think there's a lot. That's the thing. We're in a day and age where there's so much information out there for free.
Yeah.
And or like minimal investment. Anyone that's sort of like, well, I can't do this because of that. Like, there's no excuse really anymore. No. But you can go on YouTube and learn absolute anything in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally. And obviously with the AI coming in now, you can literally ask ChatGPT how to become a chef. And you could learn probably how to cook.
Yeah.
From YouTube, Google, ChatGPT, you could learn it.
You see me flexing my skills on it.
Getting this beautiful logo.
We couldn't manage to get it full screen, but it took me that long to get it up a day. That'll fucking do. That'll do.
We started the recording on Monday and finished off
right. I want to see the kids tonight. What time is it? But one thing I need to ask you before we go, ask everyone, what would you, I normally ask you a bit earlier, what would the advice would be someone starting?
Someone starting in property now? My advice to someone starting in property now would be to go to network events, speak to people, tell people what you want to do. So pretend that you are where you are to be. So one of my friends once said to me that you should always act like the person you want to be.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a property developer or property investor, act like a property investor. Yeah. Go do what property investors do because naturally you'll be around other property investors and other people in property. So that's the one thing I'd do. Second thing is I would be like Jim, like we spoke with Jim. I'd be getting around people that are willing to give you advice. I wouldn't necessarily spend a lot of money on training course. Yeah. And I'll decide of why you want to get into property. Yeah. Because if you want to get into it to make loads of money, then you're probably not doing it for the right reasons.
Not fast.
Not fast. It's not a fast game anymore. There's things where you can do quick wins, but a lot of it requires upfront capital, which you're probably not going to have if you're just starting out. So my top tips would be act who you want to be, get around the right networking events, talk to as many people as you can about it, and then I'm not going to say start with deal source and anything like that because I don't have experience in that.
No, I've never done it. The chap I got on Monday, he does that.
Okay,
and he's done it, so I'm quite interested to see it.
So that's quite a low entry, but I don't think that's as easy as it looks.
No, I don't, mate. Because this is what I'd like to get. Because if someone said to me, "You can have this for $3,000," I'd tend to fuck off. Maybe that's just me being a bit like.
No, I think
if it's that good, you'd make it with yourself, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's me being skeptical or. But that's my, like you said, I'm sort of like, but I'd be
interested to see what he says.
He's been and done it, so he'll have a completely different mindset. So
there's a lot of investors out there with money that are time poor.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people out there that they've got a lot of money, but they haven't got the time, and that's probably that comes from networking, isn't it? So my top tip would probably be network and act like what you want to be, and naturally, I think things would start to happen. And decide why you're doing it for.
There's plenty of networks. You've got Googling local.
100%. Yeah. And don't be drawn in by like these massive courses because like obviously the one we go to, we met at Parkfield. That's like quite small and intimate, isn't it? And I feel like you get more value out of that than you would necessarily a massive one. Although you still need to come to Ming as well.
Yeah, I will. Like I said, I'll have to get him on as well. But I will. I had a look actually. He started. It's a day event, isn't it? It's 10 o'clock. I'll have to sort like a day off. I'll get something sorted. And I'll get one booked in. Is it every month?
Yes. Second Monday of every month.
I need to get one because I do want to go because I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's class, mate. It's really good.
If you rate it, it's going to be
I rate it. It's like Parkfield or Staffordshire Property Ladder.
Robin Sally will listen to this. Like,
Staffordshire Property Ladder.
Anymore. I did that yesterday and I had one the other day. It was 2 days ago. I had Parkfield as that / property ladder. Because I remember when I just literally Google searched Stafford Property Meet and it come up. And like I said, it's Parkfield, and it was free as well. It was amazing. They're like their own venue. And I said to him when they were here, I was like, I don't know if I said it on the camera or after. I was like, when I went, I felt like I need to give these some money. I'll just come in here, I'd have any coffees. They got all the snacks in that. Having it off, and then like that, and then now they're doing it at Trussell. They said it's better for them because they're getting involved now. Whereas in before they'd finish, or they're doing this, they're doing that, they're being host as well. Whereas now they get to the benefit of it as well, and like what they've created is
it's good, man. It's good,
So I'll have to check. That'll be my
it's good.
Any others, just briefly? Any mechanic?
No, I don't think so. No.
Dave's.
There's one in. Oh no, not a chance, mate. I think there's one in Sunderland that I keep missing.
But
I'm not going up there to go to it. If I'm there, then I'll probably go to it. But if not, I'm not going up to it. The thing is, I think I'm now at a stage where I'll only do stuff if I feel like either I want to do it or I'm getting a bit of value for money from
100%,
it. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the networking events that are out there, I'm like, I can't be arsed. Like, someone invited me to one over in Wolverhampton, but it was like fucking 6:30 in the morning, bro. I'm up with the kids, but I'm not getting to Wolverhampton for 6:30 in the morning.
I tell you, there's a property in Poppy Doms. I've been to the Stoke and the Sandbach one.
I'd like to go. I've never done that. I was with James.
I've met him. Well, I want to try and reach out to him. I met him briefly at the meets. He wouldn't have a clue who I am, but hopefully I'll reach out because he started a podcast. He has.
Has he?
Yeah. Okay. And I haven't checked. I've got him on quite a few of the groups. And he's posted it. I haven't had a chance, but next week I'm gonna get him down. I'm gonna get it on my favourite. Though I'm gonna listen to his first, give it a thing. I spoke to him briefly. He's from like Devon way. He was in the originally. He's got like. The investment, he does the money, doesn't he? Now he's got into this, but it'd be a great story
talking about him yesterday. Like fair play, he has come on and absolutely smashed it with property in Poppadom.
It's like the UK's biggest one now, aren't they?
Out of nowhere.
£5 a ticket, mate. You can't knock that, and then you go along and get a curry like, and then you buy whatever you want. They're some of their day trainers as well. They had them on for one. They got one a month. Same again, good value for money.
Is it?
It's like 40-50 quid. You're getting your food included. It's all day as well. And like you said, there's stuff out there for good money.
Yeah, there
like
is. You said, pick the right one. Probably try and avoid like the big ones, man, without naming names.
We get bummed.
You don't want to get sued.
But like you said, so, like my mate paying 15 grand.
That's ridiculous.
Like, when he said it, I didn't want to knock him because I didn't want to. It's his money. Like obviously. But I didn't want to say don't fucking do that, mate. Like you think, but his reason was it, and he said to me, it's a bit much, but I want to do it, and it's like you said,
it's just crazy.
He'll have it. He's like, fucking, you remind me of that now.
Have to post a picture of him.
To it. But he'll say to me like, to stop bringing that up because you're making me think of it. But like it is just that he said don't. And like he said, if you've done it and it worked, great. It's superb, isn't it?
Some people will have.
Some people
would have worked for it.
People say you pay for your paper, but like you said, like for me. me, like
it's not worth it. There's enough out there, I think, that you can get for a lot cheaper. That's better value for money.
Yeah, try that first before you go and fucking spend 10 grand. Like,
you just don't need to.
You
don't need to. Really, I just don't think you do. Like, there's nothing that they tell you on these courses that you can't learn on the internet already.
Exactly what you said. Everything's that ready available now. Podcast, internet. Like you said, AI,
anything, networking, go to a networking event and start asking people questions.
Everyone just knows something, and then then you'll get invited into the WhatsApp group. And any issues, you questions put something in there. People answer, and then they'll direct message, and everyone's been dead helpful, haven't they?
Yeah, massively
for me.
Yeah, 100%. I think there was a guy at Ming I met a couple of months ago, and he come up, introduced himself to me. He had a notepad, and he was basically a brand new investor, and he started just speaking to me, and he was just taking notes of what I was saying. Like, I was like, fair play, mate.
Exactly that. 100%. And like you said,
and I think generally people want to help. Yeah, so
everyone wants out, and everyone like you said, like no one's going to laugh if you do that. No, that's fucking superb, isn't it?
Unreal. Just, like, initiative.
Exactly that, and like it's. Like I said, it's great if he actually writes down what you said.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And then he followed up like the next day on emails, just like you think fair play, like you want to give these people a chance, you want to help people, because I think I still ask for help now all the time. You know what I mean? If there's a problem, there's something come across, I'm like, right, does anyone know about this? What do you think?
Sometimes you just need that chat, don't you? You sort of know what the answer is, don't you? But you just need let's just fucking just make sure I'm not in my own head.
Yeah.
Is this the right thing to do? Yeah, I thought that, but I just wanted reassurance, and it goes a long way.
Yeah, it does, mate. It does.
Dave,
pleasure.
We've been longest one, mate, for me. And honestly,
pleasure,
as soon as we spoke on the phone, mate, just hit it off.
Yeah.
And like, when I seen it, every time you got up and spoke, I was like, fucking,
I appreciate it, mate. It's been
good stuff,
mate.
And then, great guy. We'll obviously get you on again, mate, because I loved it, Dave. Well, thanks very much, mate.
Hopefully the swimming pool will be
done fucking hell. Yeah, no.
Come in the summer.
Top man, Dave.
Top man, mate.
Cheers, mate.